Sorry, that's a bit too late, but at least the there'll be a document that we had a lecture, documentation rather. Okay, so there is a division among the scientific community itself. Uh, while there are some people who are saying that it is the human lifestyle and our tendency to extravagantly waste uh, the products of ecology and thereby, get into a polluted world. You would also find that there is another school of scientists who says that there is no one-to-one relationship. There is no proof that it is human uh, pollution which is leading to global warming and other such problems. Now, they're not denying that there's no global warming. They're saying that there is global warming. True. Okay. And they are saying polar uh, ice caps are melting. The sea level is rising. They agree to all of these. The disagreement is that this is not done by any human agency. That is the thing. And mind you, this is not a fringe group of scientists who are taking on the might of those who are very well educated and all that. These people have extensive research, and this research is something that shows the whole world. Uh, it kind of shows the whole world that there is enough evidence in the past. When we say past, it's not a few hundred years ago or 1,000 years ago. Even million years ago, there have been instances of, they say there have been cycles of ice ages followed by the global warming, which led to the melting of polar ice caps. Uh, they have led to increased production of carbon dioxide. And all this, they say, is happening somehow within the earth itself. Uh, it's not like somebody is having to do something to the earth actively in order to get these levels of pollution going. They say there have been instances in the past, and those are quite convincing, those instances, that there has been global warming in the past. Okay, so when it comes to that, uh, we are left with a bit of a quandary. Okay, and again, this I've just left you with this thought. I'll go into it in a little bit more detail later. Today, I'm just using this as a prefatory session. And if you look into some of the, what should I say? If you look into some of the details that have uh, that have emerged. Okay, one of the things that is very clear is that there is no particular position which can say is correctly apportioning the blame for what is happening. Okay. A lot of people say that, it is periodically people check radiation levels at various places on the earth to see what kind of levels of radiation are there. Okay, and you find that sometimes the levels of radiation are pretty high. Okay, and if you try to see why the is there a nuclear plant nearby? No, there isn't a nuclear plant nearby. But yet there is a rise in nuclear radiation. That is when people blame the sun. The sun is the ultimate nuclear reactor. Okay. And just some time ago, when I switched on my laptop, it said today very high levels of ultraviolet rays in Hyderabad. Okay. So if there is a phenomenon like that, a natural phenomenon, where in a particular place there has been, for whatever reasons, an upward spike in the levels of ultraviolet radiation, it also will show as an increase in pollution and nuclear radiation. Okay, so this basically then means that we are not dealing with something, we are not dealing with an issue that is straightforward. We are in terms of, understanding it, and we are also not dealing with it in such a way that we can produce uh, uh, what what do we say? We can produce solutions which are also straightforward. It's not like everything is hunky dory and uh, we fix this. We don't use fossil fuels anymore. We get into cars which are electric, drive two-wheelers which are electric, and lo behold, we are fine. That is not the case. And we still don't understand natural phenomena, even though the positivists back in the 19th century itself said the entire universe has been demystified. Okay, it has not been demystified. We know at one time if there was no rainfall, yeah, we probably said we did something to anger the gods. So to appease the gods, some sacrifices were made and hoped that those sacrifices would bring rains. Uh, we don't think like that anymore. Okay, we know that it's not the anger of gods. It is the fact that you do not have adequate precipitation for rainfall in certain regions. Now, if you've had a bad monsoon in India, usually you blame it on one particular phenomenon called the El Nino phenomenon in the Pacific Ocean. Okay? In the Pacific Ocean, if there is an El Nino phenomenon, then it sucks out all the moisture from the Indian Ocean as well. Okay, or most of the Indian Ocean, at least where we are. So that is something that nobody has been able to explain why the El Nino effect comes into being. People have said that, yes, this is the El Nino effect. We can see it. but we don't know what has brought it. Similarly, you have the opposite of El Nino, which is La Nina. La Nina is when there is exactly the opposite. You have a lot of moisture, cumulonimbus clouds finding their way from the Pacific across the Indian Ocean, and we have plentiful rainfall. Okay, there are local systems as well. I'm not denying that. Please don't be under the impression that I'm saying that all rainfall is something that happens because of the Pacific Ocean and the El Nino and the La Nina phenomena. It isn't that. There are specific conditions locally as well. Uh, Local bay depressions and sometimes even depressions over land, which cause rainfall. So, without saying that these things happen, and again, we don't know why on land sometimes you have the why you have a depression that leads to rainfall. Okay, you can understand that in the case of a depression that is formed in the sea or in the ocean, because there that is a big body of water, and there it can happen. But for us to understand that as a phenomenon that takes place on uh, land is still a difficult thing. We don't understand how it happens. In fact, if you go to San Francisco, and San Francisco is a beautiful city with lots of ups and downs. Okay. So, and it has micro weather systems. Okay. It has micro weather systems. So you'll happily be walking along. You'll set out of your hotel or your home with nice bright sunlight. You walk for 5 minutes and lo and behold, you have a shower that pours down on you. Okay, so these are microsystems. What makes them trigger themselves? That is another question. Okay, so if you go to various parts of the world, you have regions that get plentiful rainfall, whereas there are other regions which are what are called rain shadow regions, regions where rainfall is always at a deficit. Okay, when you don't get enough rain there at all, so you have to kind of uh, make way for uh, some kind of rain being water being brought through various different ways. For example, Hyderabad was serviced is still serviced by the Krishna water. And that is uh, possible because of the fact that the gravity is lower here. So the water flows down into Hyderabad. But if you basically take the Godavari River, the Godavari River is below Hyderabad. So you have to install pumps, electric pumps that pump up the extra water which is running away into the sea. So you pump it up, and you use it for Hyderabad. Now, the act of pumping itself again uses electricity. And where are we getting this electricity from? We're getting it from the open cast coal mines in Kothagudem and Singareni areas. Okay, so you see, therefore, that these are not simple questions. When we go discussing these questions, we're not going to happily say, yeah, it's so easy. And please do not call the ecological system the ecosystem. Okay. The ecosystem now is an expression that is used by the industry. You'd say people don't want to set up car factories or car manufacturing factories in Hyderabad or anywhere around it because there is no ecosystem to support that manufacturing. So, what is the ecosystem that supports that manufacturing? It is the fact that you have ancillaries who make parts. Quite a few of us are under the impression that a car which bears a particular brand name, say Maruti or Hyundai or Kia, whatever it is, we think that they make the car. The fact is, it's not. Okay? Most of the parts that they need, they are made by ancillary units who ship the parts to the main factory, and the assembly of those parts is done by the car manufacturer. They do have stamping of body panels and painting, but that's about the biggest manufacturing thing they do. Most of the other things come from outside, from other places. So in management, you have this thing called on-time inventory, which is you don't want too many parts which have to go into the making of an automobile lying around. Doesn't that occupy space? It creates confusion. So on-time inventory is when you get those parts that need to be assembled exactly in time when they have to go into the assembly line. Okay, so there are all these kind of things which most people are unaware of. Okay, so even if you make a lithium-ion polymer battery car, it still is a car that needs to be assembled. The process of assembly itself is polluting. I'll talk to you about how lithium ore being dug out is also and also being refined is uh, a very polluting thing. Okay, and apart from that, lithium is one of the unstable substances. Okay, if any of you are aeroplane aficionados, you will know that the Boeing 787, when it was launched with a great deal of fanfare, and they said they are putting lithium-ion batteries on it instead of traditional batteries. And what do you have? The plane lands in an aerodrome, and what happens? There is a small blast in the lithium-ion battery because it has overheated. So it's a volatile substance. So we'll talk about that. And lithium, by the way, please don't confuse it with a drug that is also given to people who are mentally ill. Okay, so don't confuse it with that. Lithium, these days, the prevalence of prescribing lithium has come down quite a bit. But at one time, for schizophrenia, etc., lithium was one of the drugs that was administered to mentally ill patients. Okay, so I had told you 10 minutes, and I think I have taken a lot more time than that. So, when do we meet next? Tuesday? Has everybody gone to sleep?
I'm here.
So you're there. And Lavanya says, sure, sir. Sure, sir. To what, Lavanya? To class on Tuesday, or that you have gone to sleep? Mhm.
Just a request, sir. We want to have classes for research methodology too.
You want classes on?
Research methodology, sir. Paper 2.
Okay, we'll do that also. But I must tell you that Maria will testify that my uh, research method lectures are, they go back into Greek history and all that. But I'll make sure that we won't do it this time. Anyway, I was doing a series on research methodology with these people. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll find those lectures there. So what we can do is into, we move out of research methodology or rather research as theory, research as philosophy, and we'll go into it as methodology. So, yeah, but in that case, you'll have to come every day because if I have to finish both, is that fine with you? Hmm? If I have to finish both research methodology and ecology, what Harshita says, yes, sir. Lavanya Puranic remains non-committal. She's got to consult the others. You're in. Okay. All right, but we'll take a break tomorrow because I told you that uh, Lord Shiva has entered. Hmm. I told you that I also have this Catch Them Young program where I catch hold of, where I have caught hold of intermediate students, very bright ones. They have very, very interesting questions. So I'll be meeting them tomorrow. But from Tuesday onwards, we'll go every day. Those people, I meet them only. That group is the philosophical discussions group. I'll meet them 2 times in a week, and I'll adjust timings in such a way that it doesn't clash with yours. So, uh, okay. Actually, we'll meet tomorrow. We'll meet tomorrow. And yeah, I get a thumbs up from Maria. So we'll meet tomorrow, 5:30, and let's see what we can do. I'll get in touch with those kids and fix another time tomorrow with them. Okay. Righto then. Thank you very much. Uh, I hope you're not getting terribly bored because I can be terribly, terribly boring. So Maria will vouch for that. Maria has attended classes of mine which have gone on for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and all.
No,
Okay.
but it's okay, sir. The information has been very interesting. Don't worry, as always.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm afraid these other people will not have the same level of, what should I say, same level of tolerance as you have. So let's see. We'll do it at. We'll start with 1 hour and hope that it'll suffice. If it doesn't, then well, we'll have to do something else about it. Okay. So see you tomorrow at 5:30. Uh, so that's about it for today. Sorry for spoiling your Sunday, but I just wanted to get going immediately because uh, we don't have much time, do we? So, righto. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.